Hello, everyone, from the Dalk Indoor Sports Center. I'm Steve Baker, joined by head coach Chuck Martin. Miami football spring practice back at it today after spring break, and the balls were flying through the air, the pads were popping, looked like the guys came back ready to play.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Usually this, after 10 days off, it usually takes a little bit to get back in with it. I was actually pleasantly surprised. We had a little bit more. It didn't feel like last Thursday where we had 4 days in and we were in a good rhythm. We'll get back in a good rhythm. We got 4 straight weeks here to get our last 10 in. So, but it was pretty good for you're always worried the first day after spring break and too much time away and getting used to the pace of play. But it was pretty good today.
So many new faces. I had my iPhone out, flipping through the roster, remembering guys' names and everything. So many new faces out there. Who's been impressive so far out of those new ones?
Ooh, there's a lot of them.
That's good. That's a good thing, then, right?
There's a lot of them. Obviously, offensive line, Colby Borders in there doing some good things. We got a transfer, Brecky's in there doing some good things. Jados in there doing some good things. Caleb Seeks in there doing some good things. And those guys all got a long ways to go, but they've made some nice strides even from bowl practice to now. Some good strength gains, some good mobility gains. Defensively, there's a ton. We got you lose all your DNs. You got all these young DNs. Caden Woolard, Corey Suttle, Marlon Dawson, Nasir Washington's in there mixing up. We've got a whole bunch of new faces up front again. Not even from last August. I told them like just from December, the bowl game to now is a short window, but they've really worked hard. With the strength and conditioning with Luke, they're putting on muscle, they're getting stronger, they're playing faster, and they're increasing their flexibility. So there's been a lot of nice gains up front. We need to continue to make those gains because, again, those are a bunch of young guys that are really just scratching the surface. Turan Hearn's another one of those young defensive ends that we're kind of counting on growing into being a player for us. On the back end, they're all new, but Quez is doing a really good job, and Nickel, he played a bunch. John Saunders, who played towards the end of the year and did a really nice job, is doing a good job. Jaden Rucker Furlow's doing a good job, but we got all sorts of Ambe Caldwell, Eli Blakey, Michael Dowell, Jamar Mundy, Tubbs, and they've all made really good strides. We're 5 in the spring, they're rotating. People are going to be asking about positions pretty soon, but the nice thing is we got a lot of able bodies that are developing and can become really good football players, and they're on a path to do that. We'll see which ones can stay consistent and keep doing it, which ones will kind of hit that lull in the middle of spring ball and kind of drift away. So it's hard to keep grinding through, but that's what the great players do.
Well, and you and I have talked about it, and you mentioned it a couple of times there, that the bowl practices, you can get what you guys would be doing at the end of the bowl practices, you'd just be getting to if that wasn't the case here in spring ball.
Yeah, no, it does a lot of things. One, it starts your spring ball, basically get all these extra practices. Two, it really helps with a lot of young guys. One, confidence, because they get some more reps running our offense and defense. We squeeze those in during bowl practice. Two, a lot of them, they go to scout team. They probably think they're a little better than they are. We have those bowl practices where they start to go against each other, and some of the failures they have really springs them into a good off season because they're like, man, coach is telling them I got to get stronger, but man, I felt it during those bowl practices. I got in there a little bit more. It was more like fall camp or spring ball, and man, I really had a hard time pushing on that guy. So that even the failures during those bowl practices helps kids really evaluate, self-identify where they're at, and then a lot of these young kids had great off-season because I think a lot of it during bowl practice, hey, I'm not as big and strong as some of these older guys, So that really springboards you into a good off-season.
Spring showcase on the 23rd, so you got about a little over 3 weeks between now and then. What are aside from getting these guys a lot of experience, what else are you looking to accomplish here in the spring?
Yeah, every year you got to reestablish the tone of your offense, defense, and special teams, and that's the thing I've probably been most pleased with through those first 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We kept building, and the effort and the intensity and the sense of urgency, mentally and physically, that we played with right before we went to break was really good. Probably took a little step back there, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. But just making sure that we leave spring not only with all that experience for all these young guys getting these reps, which they need, but also okay, we've established how we're going to play. I don't care if you're young or old, this is how we're playing. And some of these guys were down on scout team last year, so don't really understand that identity. So making sure that they understand on offense, defense, this is how we're going to play. even if we don't know everything, even if we don't have a ton of experience, we're going to play super aggressive. We're going to play north and south. We're going to keep the ball inside and front. Offensively, we're going to play north and south. We're going to push the ball vertically, whether it be run game or pass game. We're in attack mode all the time, and we're going to be physical. So even if you're young and inexperienced, a lot of times you get that paralysis by analysis, so you don't play as hard, not because you don't want to play hard, because you're thinking too much. We're trying to get all these guys through these 15. Hey, by the end of 15, we're playing fast and furious. And again, we have different levels of experience and different levels of execution, but the fact that we're all playing hard and playing with good pad level and straining every snap for your teammates is a goal.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks, Meg.